Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, yeah, this is, I'm liking the inclusion of this, this Goku Spirit Booster Unison.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Free seal this out. Yeah, oh, yeah, cool. This is interesting. This is going to be a really interesting matchup.
I think that was originally intended for that deck.
I've never seen the card played, that's all.
That's true. Neither have I. That's...
Right, I finally figured out how to get the deck list up. There we go.
Oh, very proud of you, Alan. Very proud of you.
Thank you. Sometimes technology is just a bit hard.
Hey, it's true.
Okay, so we're reading out what this hit does. The hit's big thing is the 7-drop that flips the leader back over. But looking at this, I'm gonna everything I say now. I'm gonna really stop and read the cards before I say anything. Make sure I've got the right deck list.
So Hit's thing is he's a mill deck. It's a cooler leader.
Yeah, it's just a different skin. It's actually a blue, yellow, red cooler leader with the U6 packaging. Not a lot of people understand this now, but obviously as the expert on all things mill, I can see through these lines.
Oh, 100%. And just so everyone knows, the Timbits bets are up. So. Go have your gambling addiction met here with delicious treats and put those Timbits up. And this is for the whole set, not just the first game, so you got to keep that in mind with the deck lists presented here.
Yeah, so the big, I'm gonna say the quote-unquote big play of this deck is flipping the leader, the opponent's leader, onto the backside, and then not allowing them to awaken the following turn. So what it looks to be is a reasonably strong kind of blue-yellow build that kind of stalls the opponent out long enough that they can get that leader flip over, and then it's going to use things like the hitting Goku Supreme Alliance, dual attacker. It's essentially a dual attacker to kind of do lots of chip damage, things like the 8-drop Kefla to apply a bit more pressure that way, and then you've got things on the clapback like the hit unison with Trunks, the Zamasu counterplay, and then you've got the Wicked Saiyans, which looks like it's going to be can't be a dual attacker. Oh no, it can be because it's green, yellow, or shares a character name. Yeah. So they'll be using that as like a dual attacker as well. So this is going to be a really interesting matchup because it's essentially a blue stall deck versus a blue yellow stall deck.
Yeah, and it's really interesting to see because obviously blue yellow has gotten a lot of support recently, but also Hit and U6 in general has got a good few support cards in the last few sets, like that Hit Checkland that he just played, which negates the energy exhaust if you have a blue or yellow U6 card in play. And then also the Hit Unison, which is going to be amazing for the deck, just being able to flip over the opponent's leader and gain a bunch of value off of that.
Oh god, chat's already... Oh no, I already found something I screwed up. I have the double flags going on. Both are Canadian. I did not put the... You know what? I might still have the file here. I knew everything was too good to be true.
Either problems. We'll have a really long break in between. We can check everything over. It'll all be fine.
Yeah. We'll be alive here. It's Canadian for tonight.
I've been really heavily testing U6 decks, particularly Kale Ramp, and one thing I've noted is that the deck generally lacks an ability to get cards from drop back to hand, but there is a 1-drop Kale which does do that. He's not running it, and another thing that 1-drop Kale has. It's a permanent that means that it can't be KO'd by skills. So what it looks to me is he's going to use these two cards to set up a Celestial Union Kefla, because that's 1 blue, 1 yellow, or it would have been if you hadn't played the Hit Unison. It's critical, and it gets dual attack, and then switches to battle card to rest mode when he's played, which is quite... Well, it's very powerful, especially this early in the game when there's not an awful lot of energy being used.
Yeah, and getting those crit swings against a blue deck is just really strong because a blue deck is one that likes to go long and relies on having a larger hand size. So if you can get down that guy. be very strong.
Yeah, and you can see already, it looks like the Gohan player's got the mono blue skillless card in play, and obviously when he attacks, he can bounce a mono blue card from his energy to his hand, and then play a mono blue card from his hand in his energy. So we can essentially recycle energy almost, very akin to Soul Striker, and then protect things like his skillless until he needs to play them, which will then obviously allow him to do what he's doing now, which is he going to awaken? He's thinking about it.
Oh, look. Come on, let's see it. Flip that damn thing right over.
There we go. He's drawing 2 cards.
Yeah, there it is.
So, the something worth noting is he's just shown that he has Pycon in hand, or he did have Pycon in hand. Putting him in energy is great because it means he can protect him until he needs to play him. But it does. There you can see he has to strip back to his hand. It's like he can hear me. Playing something else in his energy, and he can now use that essentially untapped energy to do some more interesting things. He's got the Bewitching Blow in his deck. He's got the 4-drop blocker, which you can play by having a skillless battle card in play. And then obviously when he gets to 4 energy, he's got the SS2 Sun Gohan, the triple striker that wipes the opponent's board. Looks like he's playing the Spirit Boost striker here, the card that kind of piqued my interest. I was looking at this earlier on.
Yeah, and it's definitely looking like the skillless Gohan player is going to be the aggressor in this matchup, just trying to flood the board with all those 20k beat sticks. And I am a really big fan of the Super Pycon Secret Rare, because as a budget player who's not owned Hatch until very recently, playing that card in blue decks and having it work feels amazing.
Yeah, that's the part there that you're also forgetting. Having it work. That's the big part of it.
It works when people don't expect it.
And no one does.
Very true.
Until you flip it into your energy and then add it to your hand.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the hit player here, what are you looking to do this turn? Because it looks like he survived a bit of quite a bit of damage there. What are you looking to do this turn?
Let's see this hit deck list.
Because he's got Celestial Union Kefla, he's got a lot of the arrival cards, which will rely on him using his Zamasu super combos. But is this a turn where you want to try and clear the board? Is this a turn where you want to get rid of the Unison? Okay, so he's added... I think he's added that Kefla to his hand from the 1-drop Caulifla. Yeah. So now he can't... The 8-drop can't be Patara'd, but it can be arrivaled, and he's got the energy to arrival it. Is he looking to Windmill Slam that maybe, and then rest some cards? His opponent's obviously got a Trunks Live, which is going to be particularly scary.
That Unison is on 4 markers. I guess he must have stuck another copy underneath it. But
yeah.
That's going to make it especially tricky to kill. Especially if this hit player wants to leave energy up for a Zamasu going into the next turn as well.
I'd just like to give a quick shout out to the 2 people who've already, I think, helped chat to peak in this first match with Bojackus Maximus and Bojangle My Bollocks.
Yeah, that's about as good as it gets right there.
Yeah, there's nothing more we can really add to the conversation beyond Bojackus Maximus. So, Brother Callum and Irritoro, well done. You will receive absolutely nothing, but my respect.
Bojack best deck.
You shut your mouth.
Blue Bojack is the best deck.
Let's take a look at those predictions. Okay. It looks like we got 67% of those Timbits on Thomas right now, and 33% on Troy. Okay.
I couldn't vote against. I couldn't vote for any Tom that's not my team.
Hey, fair enough.
Teammate.
Fair enough.
That is you, Rhetorical. Well done. So the hit player here, contemplating tapping 2. That's almost definitely for hit Battlefield Manipulator. Hit Battlefield Manipulator Unison when you play a card with a rival. If it's your opponent's turn, you add a marker to him. You've got a +1 that lets you draw a card, and then his -1 means you also have to tap 2 blue energy. But if your leader card is blue or Universe 6, your opponent has 3 or more energy, you can flip your opponent's leader back to their front side, and then they can't awaken until the end of their next turn. So that can, again, help to kind of stem the tide of this what's looking to be quite an aggressive blue list, which is not something you see or say very often.
Yeah, I feel like if he wants to play this hit unison, he's going to need to have at least one Senzu Bean to defend himself going into the next turn, because he's going to need the 2 energy for a Zamasu or some arrival plays.
Oh my lord, is he doing what I think he's doing? So he's awakened.
Mm-hmm.
When he attacks, he's playing the Flawless Attacker from his drop.
Damn right he is.
So what this will let him do is reduce the evolve cost of a hit in his hand by 2 yellow, which means that he can evolve for 2 generic energy. And if he evolves for 2 generic energy and it lands, which it might not do because his opponent's got a unison with 4 markers on, but if he does, he puts his leader to the back, and that's really good. And again, you can see that he's building up that those kind of Union Patara targets on the left-hand side of his screen, on the right-hand side of his field, which again will allow him to do things like go into the Celestial Union. I think that's all that he's got in terms of on play, active plays that he can do. But a crit dual attacker that rests a battle card is not to be scoffed at all.
Another important thing to know about those little 1-drops on the board is they're also going to be incredibly useful arrival fodder, because there's 2 yellow and 2 blue cards right there, and that's exactly what. Well, no, that's not what he's going for. He's going for the Union thing that you were saying. Never mind.
You are correct though. Having a yellow battle card that cannot be KO'd and has essentially cycled itself, and then having another blue battle card that can get you kind of recurring value because it has an activate main once per turn where you can look at cards. Is going to be really, really useful for the later turns of the game where he's looking to play things like Kefla Lightning Speed, or Son Goku and hit Supreme Alliance, or Son Goku and hit Temporary Truce, or basically anything that's got Goku on it. It's really not to be understated just how valuable those cards are.
It's true.
He's baited out a Trunks there, which is obviously a pretty good feeling for him. It looks like he's past turn with 1 up. So yeah. We've gone in there and played the 4-drop blocker, some Gohan Unbelievable Might. You get to choose a battle card, ignoring barrier, with a cost of 3 or less, and bottom deck it.
Oh, so there goes that hit that he brought out.
Part of me does wonder if that was played as a bait, though. Because, again, still, the Kales don't have any protection. Caulifla does, the Kales don't. There's the Bean. Back up to 2 energy, 20k, yeah.
Bean's going to be massive right here, because now he's got Zamasu back live as well.
100%.
But he also has the potential to arrival in things like the Goku hit.
Which one? Ha ha! Got him! Can I get a pog in the chat? Boom roasted!
Oh, that was a good chat by Star-Lord there. Anyone else running no Saiyan leads? This is honestly, I don't even know. I don't think so. I think Tomko might be the only one that has a clean board of just non-Saiyans as his 3 pools. Like, obviously in the decks, the U6 is run by those 2 harlots, the banes of my existence. But
I mean the absolute dreamboats that are Caulifla and Kale.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
If people who like Saiyans were a spice, they'd be flour. Wow, what a lukewarm take. Nappa is the same leader. You are absolutely right. I think, to be fair, of the 6 decks, having 2 be Saiyan
actually,
leaders,
I
don't
didn't even
it's
think.
the worst thing in the world.
You're right. I just looked at and that's Nappa. Nappa's a Saiyan. He just doesn't have hair. That's what threw me off. I looked. I'm like, yeah, it's just another alien. That's just. I guess he is an alien, but I'm just like, yeah, that's just a hit again.
Looks like the Zamasu did come down on something, if I didn't see what got bounced back. And he managed to rest the 4-drop as well, which is a huge play. Gonna stave off all of that aggression now.
Gets your cycle, gets to tap down a card that's being played, and it gets to tap down a battle card when it enters the field. And it's indestructible arrival fodder, to go back to a point that you made earlier on, Ollie.
Yes. And now going into turn 4, assuming that the Gohan player's turn is coming to an end, this guy, the hit player, is going to be able to arrival in these 8-drop Keflers and still have energy open to either defend or go even further aggressively with Senzu Beans.
It looks like the Gohan player's not charged here because they've got 2 energy, and the hit player's about to go to 4.
I think they had 3 earlier, maybe... Yeah, there we go. I think they were
mid-battle with
mid-effect there.
Fair. That must be must have been a confusion of sequencing from both of us.
Rob Games saying, unless any person playing today is using green pilaf, it's not going to be spicy. Well,
you know what's
green
hilarious
pilaf
about
is
that?
known for being pretty strong.
I was about to mention green pilaf before that chat. You read my mind. I was about to ask him, like, you know what? I don't think we're going to see green pilaf tonight, and I'm upset. I think I forcibly got to inject someone to have green pilaf.
Currently, green pilaf, if it was a spice, to borrow a joke from Iratorum, if green pilaf was a spice, it'd be a bloody ghost chili, wouldn't it?
I mean, I've been messing around with 2 green pilaf decks that I may or may not be bringing to a fight night sometime soon.
Oh god.
I just want to see someone have a Happy Holidays leader and then pull out Twin Onslaught, or whatever the hell that SS4 card is.
Absolutely. Burst 5, board wipe? Let's go.
Horrendous. Green pilaf will be it doesn't have to be a deck next set, it's a deck now, let's be honest. It's the deck. People are sleeping on green pilaf. If you don't know, now you know.
Yeah, it's true.
Right, so we've managed to re-establish that blue-yellow hit, and it looks like we are tapping 2 energy here. This is probably going to be for a Celestial Union Kefla because it was bounced last turn.
Let's see it.
Yeah, it does look like it. He's moving those 2 cards. There we go.
The Kefla comes down, it can tap down a card with 3 or less, ignoring barrier, and it gains dual attack for the turn. It's also got critical, which is really, really good. Especially against, as you said, against the blue deck. Critting them and denying them resources against blue is kind of the aim of the game. Blue's biggest...
No, he can. Is it after the colon? I'm gonna pull up the card quick, but I'm pretty sure you can.
I don't know what the ruling's going on.
From set 9, rare, right?
This card.
Celestial Union Kefla, you can choose a card.
I'm pretty sure you can rest it, yeah.
Yeah.
Choose up to one of your
You
opponent's
can.
battle
You are
cards,
able to.
ignoring barriers, switch it to rest mode, and it cannot be switched to act mode during your opponent's next charge phase.
Pretty useful. Yeah,
right.
as I was saying, because of the
I'm just looking at the card quick.
the kind of inherent nature of blue having the ability to untap all of their energy at any point during the game,
That's great.
denying them 1 resource can actually cripple them because
Yeah, you can do it, definitely.
you know there'll be a point where they'll break, and without the ability to untap, they'll be dead in the water. So these crit swings are actually going to be a lot more important than it first seems. Plus, it's 19k, so he has to combo at least 1 card each time.
And even if he's not sending those attacks to the leader, he can send those to the unison and start melting through those markers to make sure that he can play without worrying about trunks.
Yes, absolutely. I think the Gohan player maybe does have a trunks and has been a little bit greedy here, trying to kind of wait for that hit to come out, because the hit's a bigger energy sink. I'm not sure if I would have given the 5k to hit there. I would have maybe given the 5k to Kefla, to kind of force the opponent
That's
to...
true. Yep.
Yeah, Senzu being with dual attackers always feels great.
Dual attack
And is-
crit. Oh, 24k.
There's the hit. Is the chunks coming down?
Let's see. He's got the
Doesn't
bond if
look
it
like
doesn't.
It's not. He's flipped
Ooh.
over.
And he can warp a card. Everyone forgets about that effect on hit too.
And hit's got dual attack.
Yeah. And it's beamed up. Ooh, and we got the
And he's bringing out the Champa
God,
to
no,
give it
double
strike.
strike. Oh lord.
This is a combo.
Is this where we're going?
We're just going face now?
I am a fan.
It's popping off. He's still got, what, 1 energy open?
So he's beamed Kefla.
Okay.
Oh, the heroic
Okay.
prospect.
Okay.
Interesting. Trunks will not hit Kefla.
No, it won't. So
It's greater than.
Yes. That's what, 29k
Doesn't
double strike crit?
There's the D magic.
Wait, did you bottom deck too?
Doesn't need to.
Oh wait, it's a 4 cost. It's a 4 drop. You're right. Never mind. That was 7 for some reason.
I think now the Gohan player is on, like, what, 7 in hand? 6 in hand?
You always get 7 in hand, Ollie. Even if you have no
Yeah.
idea. I think he's on
Just-
slightly less. Slightly less.
as long as it's not Icarus, you're just like, yeah, 7. It could be, yeah.
Oh, even if it's Icarus and it's like turn 9 and they've drawn 50 cards from their deck, you still say 7.
If it's turn 9 against Icarus, what's going on? That sounds like fucking death.
That sounds like a Blue Beerus matchup.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you know, you're playing blue, you just draw Baby Hatch, right? You just draw Baby Hatch, and then
Yeah.
it gets to
Hope they
turn
don't have
9,
cooler.
and then you tap down 9 and you play Tragedy Overground, and you laugh at your opponent, they put their cards into their energy, stain them with their tears, and then they kill you with 3 costs anyway.
Yeah.
That's a blue matchup, right? Icarus, who never heard of them. Tragedy hard cat. Just to give you a bit of context here, as I said, I've been testing Kale Ramp, and one of the iterations that I've come up with is Kale Tragedy. So you essentially speed ramp to 9 energy, hard cast Tragedy, and then, because obviously no decks are aggressive in this format, no decks manipulate hand, it's just like you can just play what you want, it's really slow. You just play Baby Hatch the next turn, buy yourself a new turn, they have no board, no ability to really put pressure on you, and you just go into the turn 9 with 9 energy. Do you know what I mean?
Or going into the Gohan's player's turn 4, this is potentially going to be where we see that 10 drop come down and just start triple striking the hit player. And the hit player is looking very low on hand size, maybe 4-5 cards in there.
So what we could potentially see here is also a tap 4 play Pycon. Pycon? I'm sure it's horrible correctly. You ain't drop SCR,
Well,
it's got double strike and dual attack that no one plays.
The Pycon, though, is it?
That is an activate battle skill, yeah.
No, and I just you didn't see that. No. Let me swing. Let me swing.
But the same, like, whoa.
Sorry, I just dropped a card from my hand. My bad. You saw nothing. It's also remember he can't awaken this turn.
Nope.
So he can only awaken at the end of the next
he's
turn.
unawakened.
And if we can get negates,
That's actually
wall
huge.
negates.
Because
Now, here's Pycon.
There
he's
we
not
go.
going to have the effect to pick up an energy and put it back down, does he?
He has the effect on both sides, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on both sides, never mind.
So Pycon there bounces everything from battle area to hand. Doesn't obviously get around indestructible. And then when he attacks, he reveals hand.
Yeah, as long as it stays.
You choose a 7 drop or less, place it at the bottom of his opponent's deck, and then your opponent draws 1 card.
And it's double strike, dual attack, 40k.
I think that's the one thing about that card that pisses me off. That your opponent still draws a card. It's like, why?
Yeah,
Why?
absolutely.
You know, blue can't have too many good things. Last time blue had a good thing, it got banned. So
It still wouldn't even be that good. It would just be at least like, oh, you know what? Here's something different, but
yeah,
gotta
but
run
you've
Baby
gotta
Hatch
remember that
anyway.
It's also a
The auto
full
is
hand
not
reveal.
once per turn.
So what this lets you do is not only does it let you see, put a card from your opponent's hand to the bottom of the deck, but it lets you see their entire hand, which is a lot of information.
That's true.
Which means that you know if you're looking to set up a potential play next turn, your opponent will know exactly what it is that you're planning to do, things that you're potentially looking for. You'll only really have maybe 2 cards that they don't know that are in your hand. They can do things like super combo calculation. They can do they can check how many negates you've got. There's lots and lots of things that they can do here.
But
That
to
looks
be
like a-
fair, this is where the heart of the cards comes in. And that's where the
Because now it
top
gives them
deck
the chance
gods.
Yeah. See that freezes army reinforcements on the top.
Yeah, again, you can't target that. He can only target the 3 cards. He looks like he's getting rid of the hit. This is then going to allow the Gohan player to draw a card, so there's a new card that he doesn't know. Then again, when he attacks for the second time, he'll have that that new hand information.
And he still hasn't swung with leader yet, so he still has the potential to effectively untap an energy, which, if he has beans in hand, that's going to be ridiculous.
Does he have it? Does he have it? He's blocked. Smart man. Oh my god, he did
another
Oh,
Kefla.
Oh, there's Zamasu Super as well.
he's got a scary hand.
Yeah, that Zamasu is going right away.
Draws another card.
And the hit player's on 1 life now, right?
Yep.
So this could be it on this leader swing. Especially because the hit player has those 10k combos in hand from all the multicolors.
That's very true, and this is what Pipe Gohan lets you do, is it lets you do these kind of maths in your head. You know, I know my opponent's only got 1 card that I don't know about. Let's assume it's a super combo. That's this amount of combo power. I can get to this amount of combo power. Can I see a situation where they get over the top of it? Because you know, or you would assume that if they're running the Zamasu super combo, they're probably not running more than 2 copies of the Vegeta super combo. Especially because in this deck, if he's charged a yellow energy, it's completely dead. But he can't run the Vegeta. You know what I mean? The bottom deck 1 draw 2 super combos.
And the Gohan player might even be able to play another skillless here with the leader effect on swing. It looks like that's exactly what he's doing. So even after this leader swing, he's got another 20k swing to come in.
And your leader flips.
Can't flip. Can't flip.
Because it's not awaken. It's not awaken.
It's not an awaken, it's an auto.
It's an auto.
Oh, damn!
Really? Oh
Mitigated.
no!
Because
Big O
the
gets
super says
cool.
specifically awaken or wish can. Yeah, but he's not
Yeah.
using awaken or wish. It's specifically an auto.
This big old guy's cool. He
Uncounted.
got a channel. No,
Yeah.
he doesn't. He doesn't.
I do have a channel, actually.
No.
Check now on YouTube.
Oh no, sorry. No, he does have a channel. He's just not cool. That's. Apologies.
And the shit talking begins.
Oh, all he knows that in if we were to go 1-on-1. It's
Here we
gonna
go.
50-50 at best.
Oh dear.
Oh, that's the only reference to that I'm gonna make all night.
Sure. I'll
Yeah,
keep
it's-
track.
That's really sad.
He's gonna be down
and
2
also-
whiskey glasses, and then we're gonna hear it.
Do you know what? As funny as it sounds, they weren't my sunglasses. I had to ask somebody if I could borrow some sunglasses specifically to film that video.
And that's the game to the Gohan
That's
player.
the game. Wow.
Hit player had a handful of 10ks.
All to
Yeah.
the situational awaken auto. That was
Huge
Yeah.
actually, that he managed to kind of work his way around that hit restriction.
Yeah,
Really,
damn.
really clever play.
I think
it's beautiful.
Right, so this 1-drop Majin Buu cycles through a card. Then if all the cards in your leader area and energy are mono blue, for 3 blue energy, you can play a blue Majin Buu card with an energy cost of 7 from your energy area. If you do, place this card in your energy in rest mode, then play 1 blue Gohan Adolescence card with a cost of 4 from your deck in your drop area. Sorry, from your deck in your drop area and shuffle your deck. That's pretty nice. I don't think he's running any Gohan cards. He's got the Gohan Revenge blocker, with deflect barrier block, you know, all the keywords. It's actually pretty cool. Looks like he's going to try and absorb that maybe, and then use its skills to cause a lot of problems for the Android 16 player. Now, I've played Android 16... Sorry, I played against Android 16 too many times to count. The deck's not linear. The deck's just got very, very strong lines of play. You're ideally looking turn 2 to play energy amplification, and then go to 3 energy to go into 4 the next turn. Windmill, Slammer, Boo, Unison down, and just laugh in your opponent's face. Is pretty much my understanding of the decks.
No,
I
I
Unison just. carries blue decks these days, and I love it.
That's this is kind of like hitting home with me. This energy swap boo. I had a buddy who used to play the game, and this was actually his first deck. So I've played against this deck a lot, and seeing these cards again after never seeing anybody touch this deck in eons, it's gonna bring a tear to my eye.
I have absolutely no idea what any of these boo cards do. I played against the deck once in my first ever regionals, and I've never seen it since.
I feel that's most people's reaction to this deck. Even I haven't seen it with the new support that they brought in EB1, so I'm glad to see.
I think
what
there's a
the
way
hell
they
it's
can
gonna
bring
do to
out
the deck.
like a triple striker from the energy, but that's all I can remember.
Yeah. So, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. You can kind of go into the 7-drop to absorb. Sorry, the 7-drop, the ultimate absorption, which takes a card from your opponent, switches it to active mode. You need to find a way to put the Gohan Adolescence underneath it, and I'm just really quickly looking through the list and seeing if I can see a way for that to happen.
With magic.
Doesn't look like there's a way to get that the go. I'm very probably missing the way that's right in front of me. But you essentially want to end up on a Ultimate Evil Margin Boo that you can just go cycle through again and again and again, and give them plus 30k, which is back to mode each time, and it becomes like 120k triple striker that just keeps swinging. If you're the Android 16 player there has not ramped. That is not a good sign.
That is really not a good sign.
And
he hasn't seen any speedy subs to get those searches either.
He must be having a brick of a hand. It's probably honestly just all the 7-drop 16s, and then maybe a couple of the SR ones.
A 1-drop allows you to play the 7-drop while putting a Gohan underneath it. It doesn't. It just puts a Majin Buu from your energy into play, and then puts a blue Gohan Adolescence with a cost of 4 or less from your deck in your drop area.
I think it's because that Buu has an additional effect if there's a Gohan underneath it. Yeah, the 7-drop, when this card attacks, if there's a Sun Gohan Adolescent card placed under this card, choose one of your opponent's battle cards and place it under this card, switch this card to active. So it becomes essentially a dual attack triple.
Yeah, but I'm still trying to figure out a way for you to put the Gohan underneath, because that's what it's missing.
I think you two might be looking at 2 different 7-drop triple strike Majin Boos, because there are 2 in this deck.
I'm talking about the ultimate absorption one, because when this card is played from energy...
If there is...
Yeah, that's the part you're missing.
We're looking at the same card, we're looking at different autos.
Yes.
Right. So, again, chat, I just can't read.
Yeah, hey, I have the same problem too. I don't want to read, and
we're Dragon Ball players. We don't need to read. We just tell each other what the cards do, and we just
believe each other
incorrectly.
And then we have someone use Power of a Super Saiyan with all their energy tapped down and confused why we lost.
Yeah, and then people say like burst is optional.
Yeah.
They say that it goes negates autos blockers. What else is there that's wrong? I'm sorry, I don't know why Poe told me something and I was like, you are wrong. Like, very clearly, Poe, you are very clearly right.
Yeah, just taking a look at this.
You had a chance to beat him? Is that what it was? You said that to me too.
I am going Poe. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Ollie. You were saying, look at the Buu deck.
Yeah, he's got some very cool stuff in there with the... There's the 4-drop that gets a token out if there's a Gotenks card underneath it. So he's got the 4-drop Gotenks that's got a bunch of keywords and can board clear stuff if a counter skill is used. But the main thing I'm interested in is he's got a 2-2 split on Gohan Adolescence and Gotenks super combos, which means that he can then absorb those with his 7-drop and his 4-drop.
He's
get those
saving
bonus
all the
effects.
deck space. He's just like,
Yeah.
you know what? I have no use for any of these. Well, he does have the 4-drop Go tanks. I guess has a little cute play he can do, but it's just like, well, super combo's already in the drop. Let's go to town.
Sorry, yeah, Mr. Miyamoto. When I said that burst was optional, what I meant is people will say that burst is optional, and then they just get the effect if they don't burst.
And also, Miyamoto, I saw right before the stream started. Thank you so much for joining the Timbits gang with the follow.
One of the best gangs out there. Nothing better than a good Timbits win.
Exactly.
This Android 16 player looks like he's just bricked everything.
Oh, I've played against his Android 16, and I know he's been practicing this deck for at least it's been probably over a month now. And yeah, he's definitely bricked super hard here because he usually has the optimal at least first couple turns down pat, and he is obviously not seeing what he needs to. And F4 Yukon, thank you so much for joining Timbits gang.
Yeah, you kind of don't want to. I don't know if you really want to ramp at this point in the game. Like, you're better off just waiting out, because next turn you'll have the 7-drops will be live anyway, and the 7-drops are one of the main ways you apply pressure.
It's true.
He's got the 5-drop out, which means he can potentially go into Zamasu, and obviously going into Zamasu means that he can get his opponent to pitch cards, start that hand manipulation. The absolutely delightful hand manipulation that Android 16 can get going on top of the pressure that it applies with the crit life from Bad Omen and the 7-drop coming into play. All the 6-drop coming into play, which makes you pitch more cards and is a revenge blocker dual attack. It's just... There's lots going on. There's lots going on with this deck. Even when it seems like there's nothing to do, I've had an Android 16 player with nothing in hand and 5 energy, and then I've just died.
Yeah, as long as they have stuff in their energy, a blue-green card in their drop to combo, Android 16 players don't need a hand.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just a broken meta deck, and everyone who plays it is just copying the guy from the American Nats.
Isn't that right, Irritorum?
Yeah.
Melts through his computer.
Not a lot of people know this, but Irritorum picked up the deck kind of just after Nats. What? was that Irritorum?
That was indeed. Saying something.
I think he was just saying, yes, you're absolutely right, Turner Stone.
That was Irritorum saying hi.
Hi. Yeah, so
Oh, I must have him muted.
And he's kind of he's tried to bring the deck to the forefront, especially in the UK scene. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Scrubby. He's just jumped on the bandwagon. The deck is obviously really powerful, but it was Big O Notation who actually noticed this first of all and built the deck. Just before the Nats, actually, just before the Nats and Worlds.
Because I'm a fan of energy manipulation like Blue Burjack, so my next project was, of course, Android 16. And I'm a little upset that the guy from the American Nats stole my chance at the spotlight of being the guy who won with Android 16. Yeah. But sometimes it just happens.
Miyamoto makes a really good point. The Android 16 engine is really tight on deck space. You have flex spots, kind of with you are. I'm just going to basically agree with you here because you've got negate flex spots, and then you've got about 3 Android 21 flexes, where it looks like Tom's got Android 17 and Android 18 siblings revived, Android 21 the beautiful scientist, and then Android 21 destructive villain, where you can swap and chop and change those out, and depending on what you want to build or how you want to build it. But the 5-drops take up 8 slots, 6 and 7-drops take up another 8 spots. You've got 4 energy amp, you've got 4 Boonison. You've got to include Baby Hatch because if you don't draw Baby Hatch, you don't win.
You've got the Zamasus.
Yeah, which we've just seen come down. It's swinging into the Boo player. The Boo player looks like he's really trying to cling to 4 life, which is an interesting choice. Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, another interesting thing about the Android 16 list is he's only got 2 of the burning Android 21. And I've seen a lot of lists tend to run 3 because, well, some of them can get stuck in your life, but also it means that you can get multiple burns off consistently in a game. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see if he whiffs the Android 21 burn come the late game.
So you generally use the Android 21 of Bad Omen not for its tap 4 playing from your energy. It's more from the 7-drop Android 16 Steadfast Ally. It lets you search for an Android 21 in your deck, add it to your hand, then choose an Android 21 in your hand and play it. And that essentially allows you to kill them when they're on 3 life. So the 21 is the 7-drop 16 itself is a double striker, and then the 5-drop Bad Omen crits your opponent to life and KOs a battle card, and that is done mid-combat, which is really, really scary at any point in the game, knowing that you can't really go below 4 life. There, for the Boo player, I don't think it mattered too much because his opponent's on 3 energy, and that's not enough to play the 7-drop down.
Oh, it looks like the Majin Buu player has gone up into this triple striking 7-drop with the
Which we now
effect of the
know.
1-drop.
Which we now
energy?
know will play a Gohan from the drop area.
Also, thank you
There
so
it is,
much,
sliding
Dark
that
Citadel,
Gohan underneath
for
the
the
blue.
raid, as well as F4 for the hydrate. I guess you're just going to have to believe me here. It's usually
Turns
better
out
when
that
I'm on
when he
webcam to
attacks,
see me
he's gonna be
hydrate,
able
but
to eat one of the opponent's battle cards and then switch this to active mode. So it's effectively a dual attacking triple strike that eats stuff.
Yeah, and it's got the oh no, it doesn't have that, does it? Because it doesn't gain the effects. It's a different Majin Buu that gains the effects, but it does swallow that 5-drop.
Yeah, and something very important to note is because he's the turn player, his auto is going to resolve before the Android 16 has a chance to resolve the blocker skill.
Yeah.
So this 7-drop is likely to connect, and it's also going to get around the revive skill of the 5-drop. So a very nice way to deal with that.
ooh,
Sends a bit
and
here.
there's Blue's favorite card right there.
Okay, so you're looking at the Android 16 player here at another triple strike coming down after this. You've got 30k coming down at the minute. You don't know the list. Playing against Majin Buu, I always fear that 7-drop from set 3. Which makes this become a 60k triple striker that restands. That's not a bad play from the Android 16 player. He's using his Awaken ability, which allows him once per turn to combo with a blue-green card from his drop area, which will then allow him to potentially play cards like the 6-drop Revenge Blocker, which would actually be really good, because it would kind of shut down this line of play from the Majin Buu player. However, it doesn't look like he's seen one. Is this going to be a Dimension Magic?
Maybe even a hardcast Shields here, because he's got the 2 open energy.
There it
Just
is.
the standard D magic.
The Childs would also be an excellent shout.
Yeah.
You could potentially take the life with the Childs.
Yeah, I think keeping the energy open for this turn, because he's in a rival-based deck, is going to be much more important than just losing that 1 life.
Definitely agree with you there. So he's tapped an energy there to activate the 3-drops ability, which lets you play. So he send it to its owner's warp, then choose a Prodigious Absorption Majin Buu, and play the card, and then you get to ramp a card from your energy. So he plays it from your energy, then you ramp a card from your energy. The
I
4-drop
might have to
then.
give this Boo deck a try after this.
I'm
This
not
looks
going to enjoy
fun.
testing with you if you play this deck. 4-drop will put a battle card from drop underneath it, which I believe is going to be a Gotenk card, which will then allow it to play another token. Or he's absorbed something else entirely, which may also be the case. The token's now swinging somewhere.
So could you repeat that Boo's name again?
Prodigious Absorption. What,
I was
have
just
said that wrong?
no. I'm just saying that card sounds so much better in the English accent than it does in a Canadian or American accent. It's like prodigious. Like it doesn't have the same flow. That's why I was just like,
Worcestershire.
oh,
Worcestershire.
that sounds better.
I
Are you doing the
challenge
Google
anybody who's
Translate
not
hitting
English.
enter?
No. I challenge anyone who's not English, who's not a UK citizen to pronounce that word that I've just typed in chat.
What is this?
I just see Fortnite. I don't know.
Worcestershire, yeah.
Yeah, British. Terrible, terrible. Because I'm not. Immediately, my brain goes to a bottle of water. But Worcestershire. You don't you mean Worcestershire?
Best part is I'm going to be drinking copious amounts of tea tonight to try and keep myself awake.
Brilliant.
So you said no, I'm not drinking any caffeine, and now you're loading up on the tea.
Tea is my limit. Tea is my limit.
Tea.
Fitting right into the stereotype.
Yeah.
It's when he starts whacking out the crumpets that we need to tell him to calm down.
Yeah. You're gonna see halfway between the match, a couple monocles are gonna be put on.
Sipping on tea, possibly.
But you're not wrong, though, are you? Maybe that's the next promo video. It's just me sipping tea in a rocking chair with a monocle.
I wonder when I will.
Voice as well.
I wonder when I'll just become insane enough where the promo will just be a video that makes, like, even at least the promo it talks about Fight Night, just one where it doesn't talk about Fight Night at all. It's just named Fight Night, and it's just, yeah, that's a perfect idea where you just sitting in a chair drinking tea. That's it. just everyone is like, what the fuck is this? Hey, come on, Fight Night, you know.
I've got they're not mine, but I have like a crew of media people who can like help me film. You know, big flex. But
they're not mine, but they bend at my will.
I pretty much click my fingers and they arrive in a line. Get them to like, you know, set up a set and like actually film it properly. I think that'd be really funny. But obviously that would take a little bit of planning. But that's, you know, it's full cinematic promos of the dream. They're not slaves, Christian. They're not slaves. They're volunteers.
Volunteers, yeah, unwilling. There we go. That's the perfect.
There's a lack of choice in the matter.
So something very interesting I've just noticed is the Majin Buu player passed after swinging with a lot of staff, but decided to keep those 4-drops in active mode rather than applying some further pressure. And I guess that's because they're 20k barriers, and so he obviously doesn't want them to be attacked, but they're also going to be generating him tokens every turn. And the fact that they're 20k barriers is an incredibly strong breakpoint into the Android 16 matchup, because they are going to melt through that Buu unison so quickly.
Yep.
Yeah, so he's managed to establish them before the Android 16 player has been able to get the Buu unison down, and that means that the Trunks hasn't been live, which means that they're going to stick, and they're going to stick for a while. And generating infinite tokens, even if they're in rest mode, which actually no, they're not. I'm thinking of a different card. Just generating infinite tokens with 15k beat sticks. You know, 16 is going to have to use Senzu Bean, or it's going to bait out the free combo, or we're going to start losing cards from hand. And the more cards that they lose from hand, the less likely they are to be able to survive triple strikes from Ultimate Absorption Majin Buu, who again, the longer he stays in the field, more incremental value, stealing more cards from the Android 16 player. The Android 16 player's up against it here.
Yeah, and as long as he can keep eating those blockers, he's going to be able to take off 3 markers from the Buu unison anytime he wants to with those 2 barrier cards and then his leader swing.
Yeah. Definitely. So we've got it looks like the free combo here. Or is this a combo from hand? No, we're tapping 4, we're arriving in the 7-drop. This is where the 16 player can start applying heavy pressure. Seeing that 8-drop go in there is not great. It's not the worst thing in the world, because I don't really think they're going to get to 8 energy. But, you know, we never know. You never know.
Could be.
So the 7-drop will now search out what we are going to assume will be a bad omen. If it's not a bad omen, I'll be... There we go. I was going to say I'll be very shocked. So this Android 21, Android 21 will burn a life, crit a life from the opponent, and also KO a battle card. It doesn't ignore barrier, but it does...
We already know what he's taking.
It does get rid of the 7-drop.
Get that big hunkin' thing out of here.
16 not out of the woods yet, though. Not out of the woods. So he's critting the life.
Ooh, he's choosing. He's just like, you know what? That one, specifically. I hate that life.
Maybe Hatch.
Oh, Sensu.
That's been pretty strong hit.
He could smell it.
So now the Buu player is on 3 life, which means that they need to start defending some of these swings. So if you're the 16 player here, you swing with 21 first because you don't want to finish on a single strike. You want to deny your opponent that extra resource because it does matter.
The 16 player has to have Hatch in hand. Or Hatch or D-Magic or something.
Yeah, there's no way you do this without Hatch, without some negate.
Like, yeah, the fact that he's going so aggressive makes me think he's going to have Hatch over D-Magic.
Yeah.
Because even D-Magic, I'd be scared to do this kind of play.
This is a good situation here where it's just like, well, D-Magic, but I gotta lose another card in hand because of the 16's auto.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
this is
that's-
more
that's
value
16
for
applies
Tom
so much pressure.
here.
Yeah, this is a really interesting matchup in terms of who's trying to outvalue who. The 16 player started quite slowly, but it looks like this turn has really swung the tide back in their favour. The only question is, do they have Baby Hatch? Like, you assume that they do, because no blue player would tap out this heavily without Baby Hatch, especially not on 3 life. But if they don't, and it's just a huge bait from the 16 player, you have to go for this as Majin Buu. You absolutely have to swing.
Yeah, 100%. You could
here we
definitely
go.
say that the Android player is turning the tide in this situation.
Can we just kick? We just put the attack.
Yeah, this is, we're gonna do the whatever problem you were having with the mute. We'll just
Oh no!
Force the push to talk,
again,
yeah.
no.
I wouldn't believe that.
the push to talk jail.
Was pushed to talk purgatory. Oh, okay. So we've had 2 swings now and no Baby Hatch.
No Baby Hatch.
That
no.
is very telling.
And the Android 16 player looks to be very low on cards right now.
That looks like 3 in hand.
Yeah, I think it might be 3.
So Trunks came down here, or Trunks was comboed with, I believe. You have a blocker. You've got the 5-drop Android 16 blocker. You've got 3 life, so you can take a hit. You've got to
Really
assume...
gonna want to see a D magic at some
Yeah.
point this turn though.
Without D-Magic, you've got leader free combo, you've got a blocker. I think it's 7 in hand. Yes! Yes! You always say it's 7 in hand. So the reason that I always say it's 7 in hand, quite a lot of the time, you get to a point in the game, it's really, really minor, and it's not something that like I would necessarily encourage or endorse like outright. But if your opponent is concentrating on a million different things, and you say 7 in hand, right, and they count and they've got 8, or 9, or 6, or 7 exactly, it makes them feel like you're keeping track of more things than you necessarily are. Even if you're slightly off. And sometimes that little thing can put in their heads that you know you're in a better position than you are. It doesn't happen very often, and it's not like, you're not going to win worlds with this one simple trick. Pros don't hate me. There's one simple trick to outsmarting your opponents. But it does give you that slight kind of... It puts that little grain of doubt. So now I know why you do it. I'll never listen to you again. Tom, I have lots and lots of secrets that I will slowly reveal to you.
This is like one of those like YouTube ads, so they try to get you to listen, so you don't hit skip ad right away. I'm gonna show you the tips and tricks to winning a Dragon Ball Super card game. And if you just follow these, you can end up just like me. And it clips to you in sunglasses doing math.
Oh, when you're next to an IRL event, or you're getting ready for an IRL event, I will tell you all of your tells. Because you've not got many, but you've got a couple. Doesn't normally help me, because you've normally won by this point, but... Okay, so we're seeing the Chilled Army reinforcements. It's going to negate one of the triple strike attack.
Another triple striker with that 4-drop effect to tap 4.
Yeah. So he's stolen...
And is the Android player on 2 or 1 life? I can't.
I think
tell.
that's
That looks
one.
like 1 life to me.
I
Yeah.
think he got rid of his last one for that, the second last one for the Child's Army.
DGZB Heat. This isn't Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. I never claimed it was Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. I simply stated I was casting a card event, and there's no better card event to be at right now than Fight Night 8. Here with Iritorum and the man himself, Rosos.
Oh, he's tapped 1 for it. He's
There
got
it
the
is.
60k triple striker.
Uh-oh.
Switches to active mode, gains 30k.
Fucking this.
Where's your baby hatch now? Just draw baby hatch!
And it's
There it
over.
is.
That was a brick and a half. I feel bad.
Wait, Baby Hatch was in life, I think.
That was the last life.
Oh, you normally lead these, Rob.
No, I'm not. I just wanted to see what you guys would say there, because you guys were taking charge with the commentating. But I guess I'll take charge here, and congratulate you first of all for getting an actual beautiful dubski there. That was beautiful to see that Boo actually take a win against Android 16. Debatably, probably the strongest deck that he had among the three. But what was your feeling seeing turn 2, not seeing the ramp on his side? Were you just like, yes, okay, now we can just... This is where we punish.
Oh, absolutely. I know normally Android 16 can get up in energy a lot faster, and he was all, I was also looking out for that 7-drop because I know it has revenge, and I know a lot of my cards, on top of not having protection in the first place, they take a little bit to get out, playing from energy and such. But the deck likes to spam out a lot and a lot fast and play some big boys that keep restanding. And my thought is just keep hammering him.
Hey, it worked out, and having those two, I know we had a little bit of a question why you had those two barrier boos inactive, but it kind of made sense. Seeing as if everything went right for the Android 16 player, he probably would be playing the Boo Unison, and those things would completely murder it.
Yeah, it would try. If he played I was waiting on turn 4 for him to play the Boo Unison, and it looked like he almost did at the beginning, and decided not to. But the plan was to swing the 7-drop into his Boo Unison to either bait the -1 or something, or let it take 3 markers off, and then the 20Ks would have finished him off. I also like to use them as kind of like a little base to just keep creating little minions to keep going in, and then their backup is I get to play the 7-drop other than the 1-drop.
Oh, yeah.
That last game, Boo versus Android 16, had me jumping up in the air at the end.
Yeah, when I drew, because I think at the beginning of my turn I drew into the 7-drop Kid Boo, and I had the other 7-drop Gohan in hand, and so I knew that's what I was going to shoot for.
No, yeah, I think that was really well executed at the end there. But my question, this is usually my question to everyone as well, is what was the choice here between decks? Like, seeing what made you play Gohan first. Was that the one you're like, okay, I want to show this off at Fight Night? Or was it just, I'm comfortable with this going first? And what chose you to go Boo after instead of going Frieza?
Spice. I wanted to get the spiciest decks out. Decks
Damn
that
right.
been seen. Frieza hasn't been seen, but I mean, everyone's seen the 5-drop in Tyrannical Blow, so I was kind of saving that one for last if we made it to Game 3. I just wanted to showcase, because, I mean, when's the last time anyone's seen Set 6 Boo?
It's true. I was bringing a tear to my eye. I was saying that. I had an old buddy that used to play at locals, and he would always rock that deck, and it's been so long since I've seen it.
When Evo Booster came out and it came out with that support, I was jumping for joy. Like a week or two before they started revealing stuff for Evo Booster, we were sitting there thinking, like, what decks would we want support for? And one I said I'd like Blue Boo support.
And your prayers were heard.
And I got it.
Yeah.
I know tomorrow I'm going to be building Blue Boo already.
See, that's what this is all about. But did you guys have any final questions for Troy here?
Just, if there's anybody that you want to shout out, the floor is yours.
That's true.
I'm sure they're in chat. All my buddies came out to watch me. They were helping me testing, just helping me decide what spice to bring, and helping me with decks, with my decks, making sure they're the best that they can be.
No, perfect. Well, your buddies have pointed out that I'm a complete idiot, and I double did the Canadian flag on both you and Domku. So I'm just like, everything's working out. I'm fine. I'm just like, I don't need to worry. And then I look, I'm just like, son of a bitch. But hey, you took the 2-0. You get your medal leader, and yeah, it was an absolutely great showing, and I'm glad that you came out and showed us what Blue Boo can do.
I'm glad. And the Frieza was the only one that didn't have a metal leader out of my lineup.
Well, there you go. You got the 2 metal leaders out of the way, and you could just pretend you had the third.
Alrighty. Well, I had a blast, guys. Thank you.
Thanks for being on. Anytime.
Thank you.
Thank
Love
you.
to see you in the future.